Ahoy there! Welcome aboard another episode of Rule the Waves 2. I'm Katori87, and this is Great Britain. The year is 1927, and we are currently in a period of peace. We have rebuilt our destroyer fleet. We currently have plenty of cruisers and very fancy new destroyers under construction. Let's take a quick look at those. Oh man, look at that. That's 4 twin 4-inch dual-purpose guns as a primary armament, so that's very well distributed. These ships should be able to serve as frontline ships to the very end of the war, or to the very end of the game. So very nice, very nice designs there. All right, and we also have our first major carrier conversion. The old battlecruiser Invincible is currently under construction, and as soon as I can convince the design board that we don't need 8-inch guns, then we'll be bumping up her aircraft complement to a total of 45 planes. We will also be looking into converting our other 2 older battlecruisers to carriers as well, since they will do the conversion fairly nicely. Some of you may remember that we recently got better 16-inch guns, and may be wondering why I haven't started started modernizing all of my 16-inch gunned battleships. But the truth of the matter is that it's 1927, so we're 1 year past the date when the next tier of fire control becomes available. So I know we're at a slightly reduced research rate, but that technology should be getting unlocked soon, and I'd rather not do multiple refits. So we've got very low tensions right now, so I'm actually going to hold off on any sort of reconstructions until we get that new technology, and that way we can do both new fire control and new guns at the same time. I do have sufficient budget to start building new ships. Also, I need to continue building up my dock size. Yep, there we go. Get that dock size building up. And I have the budget to build some more ships. So let's actually do that. I would like some more cruisers. So we'll throw 2 more Pandoras on here. Yeah, that'll work out pretty good. And then a few more months, we'll order another batch of destroyers. Alright, I think that about summarizes things here, so we'll just move right along. Alright, Japan wants to sell us improved 3-inch guns. Sure, why not? We'll do that. And the Supermarine Company has developed a torpedo bomber as a private venture. Well, let's take a look. Okay, so this new torpedo bomber is significantly slower, longer ranged. It is longer ranged, but it's also slower, so I think I'm actually going to pass on this, and we'll do a formal request for a new torpedo bomber. So I'm going to pass on this for now, because we've still got 3 more turns before our float plane request comes in. So we'll get brandy new float planes, we will request a new torpedo bomber, and we'll see what kind of stuff we get from that. And in fact, it may also be time to get a new fighter as well. So we'll do torpedo bomber and fighter next. Alright, moving on to our next turn. There we go. Oh, managed to get hold of blueprints for the American dreadnought Illinois. Well, it's a nice looking ship. Very heavy deck armor there. Not that solid of a belt. But against 15-inch guns, that seems okay. And it's fast, too, at 27 knots. Wow, that's pretty impressive design there. Alright, looks like France is still having trouble with rebels. And it looks like people are starting to build heavy cruisers. So France has one, Russia has 6, America has 6. Japan has one, Italy has one. I am very curious about these. What kind of ships are they fielding? Okay, 1924, 1926, 1927. Russia class. 8 8-inch guns and a heavy belt. Huh. Not bad. What about the American designs? Those Columbias are weird with 6-inch guns for a heavy cruiser, but what about this? 8 10-inch guns and a heavy secondary battery as well. That's actually pretty impressive, all things considered. Those are some very interesting ships. Well, let's see. So a fancy new Pandora class cruiser will cost $33.5 million total build. Let's see what it would take. Let's see what a modern heavy cruiser would cost. Oh, come on. Why on earth would you design something ridiculous like that when I want a heavy cruiser? This auto design is not always the brightest. Alright, I guess we'll do things the other way. We'll start small and we'll work our way up. Huh, there we go. Okay. So, a decent heavy cruiser needs to be well protected. Alright, so we need inclined belt, we need unit machinery, we want a belt that is at least immune to 6-inch guns. And those 6-inch guns can go through 6 inches of belt, so we need at least a 6-inch belt. Alright, so there's a 6-inch belt. Probably want like a 3-inch or so deck. Gonna need decent turret protection, so we'll put that up with like 7 or 8 inches. Turret top needs to be pretty solid too. There we go. Hmm. 8-inch quality ones versus 10-inch quality zeros. We got options. Alright, we also need some torpedo defense. Yeah, no difference between twins and singles for small guns like this, so we're going to keep them as singles so that they're less likely to get knocked out. Alright, decent belt. Speed should be 30 knots. And a ship like this would cost, well, first of all, it'd be 17,000 tons, and it would cost 68 million to build. Now, honestly, that's a ridiculous armament, so let's try cutting that down. A little bit more reasonable there. And if we go with 8-inch guns, that allows us a little bit more weight savings, but still pretty heavy there. So yeah, not quite suited for the purpose. Let's also see what happens if we do that pocket battleship design. So we ditch those. We drop our displacement. There we go. And then we would have to significantly reduce our armor as well. Well, that's doable, but it still comes in at almost 50 million construction cost. So it's still not really worth it. The battle cruisers are still a better counter to those ships right now. That's just not really worth it. Actually, let's take a look at gun performance. So these 11-inch guns can reach out to 21,000 yards with a maximum belt penetration of up to 14 inches. And even at maximum range, they'll still go through 6 inches of belt. So that's pretty solid performance right there. 10-inch guns have maximum range of 18,500. Belt penetration of 10 down to 5. 9-inch quality ones go out further than the 10s because they're higher quality. And a pretty solid belt penetration there at 11.5 at the shorter ranges. Drop that down to 8-inch guns. And we start running into serious limitations there. Okay. So, if I was serious about building heavy cruisers, probably the 8-inch or 9-inch guns. The 11s are interesting, but they just don't quite pull it off. So yeah, probably going to stick with those 9s. Yeah, let's see what kind of a design we can work out here. So there's an ABY design. And this does work out, it's just not well protected. So we'd be able to do damage to the enemy, but we would also be taking quite a bit of damage in return. So let's try bumping this up a little bit. So if we put turrets and belt at 6, deck protection at 2.5, how much would we have to raise displacement by? We could go up to 14.5, which puts our base cost at 60 million. So basically twice the cost of a light cruiser, which isn't exactly great. Let's see, and as a reminder, one battle cruiser costs almost 200 million. So yeah, we could easily get 3 heavy cruisers for 1 battle cruiser. Question is, would that pay off for us? Well, I don't know. That's a very tough question. Maybe I will start designing some heavy cruisers once these light cruisers, these Pandoras, are out. We'll see. Oh, Germany is stealing technology. We should send a diplomatic note in the strongest possible language. How dare they? And of course, Russia objects to that. Huh. That's weird. Alright, well, we're going to keep on moving right along. One more turn till our float planes come in. Japan wants to buy technology. Sounds good to me. New float planes prototypes. Okay. Alright, let's see. So, our current model float plane still has the best speed. And there's basically negligible changes in range. Wow. None of these float plane scouts are worthwhile. They're just all absolutely terrible. They're slower, and they have negligible improvement in statistics, so I am going to pass on these. Alright, new flying boat is ready. Hooray. No major problems there. Let's request our new thing. So we were looking at getting some new planes. Specifically, our primary concern was fighters. And for fighters, we need... Well, speed is important and range is important for that endurance to provide cover. Maneuverability is a purely secondary concern, because I don't particularly care about getting into dogfights with these. Not at this stage. I need them to be able to stay over the fleet and provide cover. Alright, request has been made, so let's keep on going. Oh, a new cruiser from Germany has just arrived on a goodwill visit. Let's take a look and see what kind of cruiser has come to visit. Well, it's probably one of these Frauenlob class. And yeah, those are looking pretty sorry. A very sorry looking cruiser. Sure, it's fast, but it is not well protected, and its firepower leaves a lot to be desired. So that is the best they can come up with. Well, I don't want to be too provocative right now. I like this period of peace to last. So I'm going to say it's a nice ship, but ours are just as good. Alright, scientists well on the way to understanding improved hydrophones. Not that I care very much about that. And I do believe that we have a lot of cruisers that need to go on reserve. There we go. And our Invincible, now that she has completed her conversion, is ready to have those guns stripped off. So we're going to send her right back in. So we're going to clear off these turrets. We're going to, hang on, we're going to drop those down to the 4-inch caliber. And we're going to start adding stuff on. Alright, there we go. Get those 4-inch dual-purpose guns on there. 2, 3 planes. There we go. 45 aircraft capacity. And we're going to save that and begin our conversion. And actually, he does have a good point. That is a very low allowance for ammunition. Let's see if we can... there's not a whole lot we can do there. But hey, 110 is better than 100. There we go. That'll have to work. And then we should also go in to start converting our other carriers now that we have the budget free. So let's get that started. Alright, so first things first, we're going to clear off all of those. We're going to ditch all of these. We're going to scrap all of those. There we go, those are all gone. Okay, gun caliber set. We're going to bulge that, get that extra displacement. And we want a flight deck and a decent air complement. Okay, and we want some additional AA. So we want... There we go. Alright, throw on some of those. And this one we're going to throw on the extra ammo. There we go, get some of that. And we also want some light AA. Actually, I wonder what happens if we start going up to twins. There we go, forgot the dual purpose part, that's kind of important. Alright, well, we're going to stick with that for right now. We're going to go with a fairly heavy light A armament, and we're going to call that good. Just a moment while I draw up a nice pretty superstructure. And there's our new superstructure. So, for this one, we have a slightly heavier light anti-aircraft count. So we went for more side platforms for all the guns to sit on. And we also experimented with the overall arrangement of the flight deck. Slightly different elevators to see if we can change around how storing our planes goes. A different arrangement of funnels, a simpler bridge. And for visual identification, some changed up markings to help tell the difference between our different ships. So yeah, this is going to be our new incomparable class aircraft carrier. So we're going to save that. Well, I guess it didn't like the transition to aircraft carrier type. Whoops. Alright, let's shave off a little bit of weight there. There we go. And we'll save that. Okay. And off she goes. Alright, and then we need to do the same thing to our impermeable too. Alright, so same thing. Open design for rebuild. We'll ditch those turrets. Ditch the armor. There we go. Throw on an anti-torpedo bulge. Ditch all those secondaries. And those tertiaries, we don't need those. And we'll start throwing on some airplanes. Oops, a little bit too far. There we go, 45 seems to be about right. And we needed some A guns, so we're going with... Alright, gonna go with the same general arrangement. We don't need director firing for 4-inch basically anti-aircraft guns, but we do need some more ammunition on those. There you go, that seems like a more reasonable number. And we're going to put the rest of these into light anti-aircraft. No, actually. Well, first of all, let's change... Oh, that's what I was missing. I forgot the flight deck. There we go. Flight deck. We can drop that back down. How much are we able to fit on here? Yeah, no. Alright, we're going to stick with this arrangement. $47 aircraft, not the best, but it'll work. Okay, and that's with the bulge, with all that other hardware sitting pretty. Alright, and that looks good. We got our guns set, we got our light anti-aircraft set, and a few more planes. Alright, so... Oh, and there we go. I didn't like the conversion to carrier. Alright, so we gotta drop some of those off. Oh, back down to 45 aircraft. Okay, but now we have a decent design. Let's see if we can throw on a few more. And we'll keep a little bit of weight free for any future upgrades we may do. Improvements in fire control, improvements in light anti-aircraft, maybe directors, who knows, we'll see. Alright, so we're going to keep that. And now we need a new superstructure for this one too. So hold on a minute, we'll be right back. And there we have it, the new superstructure for the new impermeable class aircraft carrier, with fancy new bow striping to help with landing recognition, and plenty of new firing platforms for all of those anti-aircraft guns. Alright, quick review, looks good. We got our 45 aircraft. I think we're going to save this and call it good. Yep, I know fire control isn't the best, but it seems okay. Alright, and off to the rebuild. And there she goes. Alrighty. Quick review, we've got all of our destroyers rebuilt, we've got plenty of cruisers under construction and being launched, we've got our carriers getting converted, and yeah, I think we'll call that good for now. I think we will take the opportunity to bring this episode to a close a little bit early. So we have designed and rebuilt all of our carriers, and we have 3 fancy new fleet aircraft carriers, so that'll be fun. Alright, we'll get to see how those work out next episode. So until then, Katori87 signing off.